Well, I don't think there is a test mania. I think it's important for all teachers to test their students constantly. And in fact, as a teacher, part of my regime was to constantly get feedback from children as to how they were doing. So there is an informal testing. Informal testing is happening in the classroom constantly. So I don't really know what the objection is. You know, I'm against testing when there's nothing to test. It's very difficult to assess children at 4 years old because there's such variance in development at that point. However, the government actually has listened to the experts on this, and they're going to drop the baseline testing for 4-year-olds, and I think I agree with that particular approach, that they should stop that. I do think it is important to maintain testing at Key Stage 2 before children go into secondary school, and I would be in favour of a more formalised testing regime at 7 years old, because we do need to maintain standards nationally and to get information about what's actually happening to children at various stages in their educational development. We do have to test children, we do need information, and we need information also in Key Stage 3, and that testing regime was stopped by the government. I don't agree with that. I think we need to test children at 4 points in their educational progress. We need to test them at 7, we need to test them at 11, we need to test them at 14, and we need to test them at GCSE level. I think they are wrong. No form of testing is perfect. We could criticise GCSEs, A-levels, degree level testing. No testing is perfect. We have to work very hard to improve testing regimes, and if we can do that, then the tests are more reliable. Yes, I have, and I believe that teaching primary school children, it is essential to get information about their progress. Now, I know that there's been a lot of complaints from teachers about the fact that there's too much testing. There's always been testing in schools, and teachers are saying that there have been many changes, but if you go back to the 1944 Educational Act, you can go to the 60s, the Plowden Report, you can look at the 70s, the Warnock Report. There's been huge shifts in educational approach and teaching regimes and testing right through from 1944 to now. There's really no difference. Teaching has always been in a process of change, and that will continue. I do have sympathy with teachers. Teaching is a tough profession. It's hard work, and I have admiration for all of the teachers in schools and what they are doing. Having been there myself, I know what it's like. It's a very difficult job. It will never be anything but a difficult job, because you are dealing with people, you're dealing with trying to give children the best chances. You're dealing with the process of change in children. So all of those things mean that it's very hard. It's a very difficult job. There is a vocal minority, or a very loud vocal minority, who do complain about situations, but many teachers are not complaining. They see the necessity of teaching, testing, and getting information. Providing that information is not used in a negative way against schools, I think it gives us information about how students are progressing. We have to have that information. We need it nationally. We don't need it locally in the classroom only. We need it nationally too, to ensure that standards are maintained.